This isn't a game, it's truly an experience. And I'm not trying to sound pretentious, I had to play this more than once to make this video. It's short and one go at it just did not feel like enough for me. I would feel that I could not make this video with only one playthrough of this roughly 2-hour story. I want to fully immerse myself in this world and it lets me. I am not forced to, it just happens on its own. This is a masterpiece when I see it. This is Journey. My history of Journey is quite a weird one. A story made by that game company, pouring everything they have into this vision, making sure everything is meticulously planned out, almost causing the company to go bankrupt, but none of their prior or later works ever hit my radar at any time in my life. Games like Cloud, Flow, Flower, or Sky, Children of Light, none I even heard of, but I did learn of Journey. I remember seeing Journey in my gaming magazines when I was in my preteens. I took big notice of it and I thought it looked cool. But beyond that, I never tried to get Journey, and eventually it became another distant memory in my head. But that's the weird thing, it was really never forgotten. Besides only knowing what the landscape and main character looked like, it stuck with me like glue, and having never played it or kept up with it, I could always instantly tell anyone what Journey was. And Journey is what the title says it is. Simply put, a journey. Less simply put, through life into heaven, as some could say. You are the traveler, a clothed and mysterious character with like 3 moves: walk, fly, and singing or chirping as some call it. Walking is pretty straightforward. Up, down, left, right on the sticks, WASD on keyboard. Flying can only be used through how much energy your scarf has, and singing has 2 uses. One is to use your singing as like an energy to scarf creatures to help you, and using it as a sort of communication between players. With only like 3 moves, it is simplistic and minimalistic, but it's truly all you need. The story is a short one, which can be a turnoff for many, but it makes sense. That game company made Journey with having a companion in mind. Yes, this game can be played solo, but having a companion with you throughout the entirety of Journey allows you to receive a completely different experience. An experience of bonding and trust, an experience of creating a seemingly lasting friendship in a matter of seconds. So it makes sense to make it a short story. A longer story means a higher chance of losing that partner that you started and bonded with. This 2-hour adventure pretty much assures you that you can finish it in one sitting, and Journey accomplishes everything it sets to be within this runtime. I didn't expect to find anyone playing, but I did. We bonded together in such a short period of time. I watched the world as they saw it with me, and it seemed like they were guiding me and lending me a helping hand throughout. And then it felt like a blow to the stomach seeing them sing to me one last time as they sit down and disappear into nothingness. With no name, I had no idea who I was playing with, and didn't find out until the credits where they are shown at the very end. This was a choice by the creators. No names and no chat of any kind, just singing in the journey of 2 nameless strangers. And it works to create friendship. It's beautiful in its own. But what really is beautiful is the visuals and design. Any pictures taken in this game could be a wallpaper. It is viscerally appealing to my eyes and my soul. It is naturalistic, it is full of life and love. It is playful yet simple, but also detailed at the same time. It is truly stunning art design, like walking through a living piece of artwork, and I want to show you my favorite moments of beauty this game has allowed me to see. Journey is one of a kind and nothing will ever be like it. It made me feel like I was a kid again. Usually I would get that through the sadness of nostalgia like when I played Minecraft, but Journey achieved it through pure wonder. That is something I haven't felt in a video game, let alone through other mediums of art in a very long time. In this story, I feel like I am the character. Every sense of wonder, fear, awe, amazement, excitement, struggle, uneasiness, I felt it. My favorite example is at the climax when you're climbing up this snowy mountain. The harsh and strong wind is just blowing so hard at you and you are literally freezing to death. The traveler is trying their very best to just go up one step at a time, but it's increasingly becoming difficult. You evidently start slowing down from a full-on assault against the wind to an almost desperate drag in your feet, where you were stepping tons at a time to steps every few seconds, to then fall to your knees and become one with the snow. Throughout all of that, I felt it. I felt it inside of me as if I were the main character. I wanted to fight, but when all hope is lost, there is no turning back. You can only go forward, but forward will only lead to your misery. It is open to interpretation, but I do believe you die there in that snow. And to me, it felt like I died a little bit inside. Of course, the game does come with a happy ending. Open to interpretation, of course, you go to heaven and then to eventually become reborn. To start fresh and new again, like a baby. To travel through this adventure again, the adventure of life and emotion. It feels like I encountered every emotion possible throughout this playthrough. Even pure fear. When the Guardian flew out of the sand for the first time, I'll tell you that I physically jumped. Guardians are scary in their own right, but the fear for me stems from the fact that you are so insignificant to it. You are practically an ant to this Guardian and you are defenseless and helpless. You can only run and hide and hope to the white-robed figures that they won't spot you. And speaking of white robes, I made it my mission to get one. You see, finding all 21 glowing symbols in the game unlocks the white robe, the one you see on the mystical white-robed godlike figures. And it was a joy. It wasn't tedious. They were all along the way and it feels like something any average player could do. The robe in itself looks beautiful, white with gold embroidery. It truly makes you feel like you've transcended, that you are experienced and are guiding light to any newcomers present throughout your journeys. And finally, no video of mine could be complete without a look into sound and the music. Voice is non-existent in Journey. There's not a single line of dialogue, and if there was, Journey would be drastically different. The only voice of any kind is during the end credit sequence when they're singing, but it's not really singing, it's kind of humming, but besides that, there are literally no voices. This game is mainly sound effects or the sound of the environment itself. And it's the beauty in what's around you that makes it for me. The sound of you sliding through sand or the rush of snowy wind blowing in your face. It's immersive and just downright lovely, but it doesn't compare to what Austin Wintory has composed for this masterpiece. This game could have no music and I would still call it a masterpiece, but they had to blow the soundtrack for this game out of the water. It reinforces that feeling of wonder in me. The music matches my feelings at the exact perfect moments. It's there when I'm scared, curious, or overcoming a great obstacle. At times it is reminiscent of Hans Zimmer to me, but different enough for me to know that this is a Austin Wintory piece of work. This soundtrack is the epitome of what a game soundtrack should strive to be, and the day I buy a record player will be the same day I purchase the vinyl for this game. Truly a spectacle. This isn't a game, it's an experience. It's a journey. It's heartwarming and beautiful. It's a hug from someone special you love. It's a friend when the ones you have aren't there. It truly deserves all the praise. If you believe that video games are truly another medium of art, then I cannot recommend this masterpiece enough. From the simplistic gameplay, touching story, and having a different experience depending if you're playing solo or not, to the stunning visuals and gorgeous orchestrated pieces. This is truly one for the books. This is truly a contender for a spot in my top 10.